The man who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one else has ever been. You already know you're different. You don't follow trends, you don't crave attention, and you don't need a crowd to feel secure. That's not a weakness. It's proof that you're built for something greater. The world expects men to fit into predefined roles, to obey without question, and to seek validation like a starving man chases crumbs. But a Sigma male doesn't play that game. He doesn't move for applause, and he doesn't need permission to be who he is. The truth is, being a Sigma male isn't just about being different. It's about being sharp, disciplined, and unstoppable. It's about having a mindset so strong that nothing can shake it, instinct so sharp that no one can deceive you, and independence so real that no system can trap you. The weak will call you distant, the insecure will call you cold, and those who follow the crowd will never understand you. But that's because they fear what they cannot control. This guide isn't about making you fit into society's expectations. It's about making you the kind of man who doesn't need society at all. You'll learn how to master your emotions, cut off dead weight, and build a life that operates on your terms. This isn't for the average man, it's for those who refuse to settle. If that's you, then watch closely, because this is the survival guide that will make you untouchable. Number 1, identify the weak links in your circle, then cut them off. A Sigma male does not carry dead weight. He understands that the people around him either sharpen his edge or dull it, and there is no room for anything in between. Weak links in a circle are not just harmless distractions, they are liabilities. They drain energy, slow progress, and when the pressure is on, they break. A Sigma cannot afford to surround himself with people who lack discipline, vision, or resilience. If someone is pulling him backward instead of pushing him forward, they do not belong in his world. Most men hold on to weak connections out of guilt, nostalgia, or blind loyalty. They tolerate friends who make excuses, partners who hold them back, and associates who contribute nothing. They convince themselves that history matters more than direction, that loyalty should be unconditional even when it's undeserved. A Sigma male rejects this mindset. He is loyal, but only to those who prove worthy. He does not waste time on those who drain his energy, distract him from his purpose, or create problems instead of solutions. If someone constantly brings negativity, laziness, or weakness into his space, he cuts them off without hesitation, without drama, and without regret. This isn't about arrogance or isolation, it's about self-respect. A Sigma values his time, energy, and mental clarity too much to let it be wasted on people who contribute nothing. He seeks relationships based on mutual strength, respect, and growth. He surrounds himself with those who challenge him, sharpen his mindset, and push him to be better. He does not tolerate excuses, victim mentality, or endless cycles of self-destruction. The moment someone proves they are a weak link, he distances himself, knowing that dead weight only slows the journey. While others hold on to toxic relationships out of fear of loneliness, a Sigma thrives in solitude before he ever settles for mediocrity. He knows that a tight, strong circle is far more powerful than a large, weak one, and when he moves forward, he does so with absolute certainty that everyone in his world is either an asset or they are gone. Number 2, train your intuition like a weapon. A Sigma male moves through life with a level of awareness most people don't even realize is possible. While others rely solely on logic, advice, or external validation, he trusts something far more powerful, his intuition. This is not blind guessing or superstition. It is a highly refined sense of judgment, built from experience, observation, and deep self-awareness. The average person ignores their gut instincts, brushing them aside in favor of rationalization. The Sigma knows better. He understands that intuition is raw, unfiltered intelligence, an early warning system that picks up on patterns before the conscious mind can explain them. Most people hesitate, second-guess, or talk themselves out of what they already know deep down. They feel unease around someone but convince themselves they're overreacting. They sense an opportunity but hesitate until it's too late. They notice small inconsistencies but dismiss them only to regret it later. A Sigma does the opposite. He listens to the subtle cues, the barely noticeable shifts in energy, the things that don't add up. He does not wait for concrete proof to validate what his instincts already detect. If something feels wrong, he trusts that feeling. If a situation seems off, he adjusts accordingly. This level of intuitive sharpness is not a gift, it's trained. A Sigma male observes human behavior relentlessly, picking up on micro-expressions, voice inflections, and inconsistencies. He studies his past mistakes, learning how his instincts were right even when he ignored them. He sharpens his ability to sense deception, hidden motives, and unspoken truths. Over time, his intuition becomes an almost supernatural force, allowing him to see threats before they materialize and opportunities before they become obvious. While others rely solely on logic, often missing what's right in front of them, the Sigma moves differently. He doesn't wait for validation, permission, or proof that's too late to act on. He listens, he senses, and he moves without hesitation. And because of this, he stays ahead while others remain blind to what's really happening around them. Number 3, become an intellectual threat. A Sigma male doesn't seek power through status, appearance, or empty words. He dominates with his mind. In a world where most people are easily influenced, emotionally reactive, and controlled by mainstream narratives, the Sigma stands apart. He is not just intelligent, he is an intellectual threat. He does not think the way others do, nor does he accept what he is told at face value. He questions, dissects, and studies deeper than the surface. While the masses absorb whatever is presented to them, the Sigma looks beyond, analyzing hidden motives, unseen connections, and truths that most will never recognize. This level of thinking makes him unpredictable and dangerous to those who rely on manipulation to maintain control. Most people are led by emotions, guided by propaganda, and easily swayed by societal pressure. A Sigma is immune to all of it. He does not react impulsively. He does not let fear, guilt, or external opinions dictate his choices. His mind is fortified against deception, making him impossible to control. Those who try to manipulate him quickly realize they are dealing with someone they cannot outthink. A Sigma male reads beyond the mainstream, absorbing knowledge that gives him an edge. He studies history not as it is told, but as it truly happened. He learns psychology not to entertain theories, but to understand how people function. He listens more than he speaks, allowing others to reveal their weaknesses while he remains unreadable. His intelligence is not for display. It is a weapon, silently sharpening in the background. Those who underestimate him assume he is quiet, because he has nothing to say. They mistake his calm nature for indifference. But when he speaks, it is with precision. When he moves, it is with purpose. And when he is challenged, his ability to dismantle falsehoods and expose truths leaves his opponents speechless. A Sigma male does not just possess intelligence, he wields it. And in a world designed to keep men ignorant, that makes him a force to be reckoned with. Number 4, adopt a code of honor that's unbreakable. A Sigma male does not answer to society's expectations. But that does not mean he drifts through life without direction. He operates by a personal code, one that is firm, unshakable, and not up for negotiation. This code is not based on what others think is right or wrong, nor is it influenced by temporary emotions or external pressure. It is a foundation built on logic, experience, and deep self-awareness. The world may change its standards daily, bending rules to fit convenience, but a Sigma does not waver. He decides what he stands for, and once that decision is made, nothing can make him break it. A weak man compromises when faced with resistance. He betrays his own principles the moment a situation gets tough or when he is tempted by money, power, or approval. A Sigma, however, remains firm. If he believes in loyalty, he does not betray those he respects. If he values discipline, he does not indulge in habits that make him weak. If he has set a line he will never cross, it does not matter what is at stake, he will not cross it. This isn't arrogance, it's clarity. It's knowing who you are at the core and refusing to be molded by outside forces. People respect a man who is immovable in his convictions, even if they don't understand him. They may test him, doubt him, or even try to break him, but in the end they recognize his strength. A Sigma does not need to announce his code, he lives it. Every action, every choice, every word is a reflection of it. This is what separates him from the weak-willed, from the manipulatable, from those who bend under pressure. A Sigma's code is his backbone, his guiding force, and his ultimate weapon in a world that constantly tries to make men compromise. Number 5, train like a predator, not a gym bro. A Sigma male doesn't train to impress, he trains to survive, to dominate, and to ensure that no situation ever catches him off guard. The modern world has turned fitness into a vanity project where men chase the perfect body for validation, flexing in mirrors and obsessing over muscle size. But a Sigma understands that true strength isn't about appearance, it's about capability. A well-built frame means nothing if it crumbles under pressure. Strength is useless if it doesn't translate into power, endurance, and resilience when it truly matters. A Sigma trains like a predator, efficient, explosive, and ready for anything. He doesn't just lift weights to look good, he builds functional strength that allows him to move with precision and control. He trains for speed because there are moments in life when being fast can mean the difference between winning and losing, escaping or being caught. He builds endurance because fatigue is a weakness that can be exploited. He learns how to fight, not for sport, but to make sure that if he's ever pushed into a corner, he's the one walking away. Every workout has a purpose. Every movement is about sharpening his ability to react, adapt, and overpower. A Sigma doesn't just train his body, he conditions his mind. He pushes himself through pain, discomfort, and exhaustion because he understands that survival doesn't come with comfort. His training isn't about reps and sets, it's about making sure that in the real world, nothing and no one can break him. While others train for approval, a Sigma trains for war, silent, unseen, and always prepared. Number 6, develop a dangerous level of knowledge. Knowledge is the most powerful weapon a Sigma male can possess, but not just any knowledge, the kind that gives him an edge, makes him unpredictable, and separates him from the average man. Most people consume surface-level information, blindly accepting whatever is given to them, never questioning, never digging deeper. A Sigma does the opposite. He seeks out knowledge that is hidden, unconventional, and often ignored. He understands that what is commonly taught is designed to keep people in line, not to make them powerful. Real power comes from knowing things others don't, things that give him control over his own destiny. A Sigma male studies survival tactics because he refuses to be dependent on a system that could fail him at any moment. He learns how to build, hunt, navigate, and protect himself in ways most people never consider. He masters high-income skills not just to make money, but to ensure that no single job or industry can ever trap him. He dives into history, not the polished version written for the masses, but the raw, unfiltered truths that reveal how the world really works. He analyzes patterns, human behavior, power structures, and psychology, making him impossible to manipulate. This kind of knowledge is dangerous because it makes a man untouchable. It allows him to predict movements before they happen, to see through lies before they spread, and to stay ahead while others remain blind. It keeps him prepared for any situation, whether it's financial collapse, societal unrest, or personal betrayal. While others live in ignorance, controlled by fear and uncertainty, the Sigma moves with quiet confidence, always knowing more than he lets on. He doesn't flaunt his intelligence. He lets it guide him, protect him, and place him in positions of silent dominance. The more he knows, the less vulnerable he becomes. And in a world designed to keep men weak, knowledge is the one thing that makes a Sigma truly unstoppable. Number 7, see through the lies of modern society. The modern world is a carefully crafted illusion designed to keep people distracted, obedient, and weak. Most men don't question the rules they live by because they've been conditioned to accept them as truth. They follow trends, listen to so-called experts, and believe whatever the media feeds them, never realizing that everything is carefully structured to keep them in line. A Sigma male sees through this deception. He does not blindly accept what he is told. He questions everything, digs deeper, and follows the trail to the real motives behind the systems that control society. The education system teaches compliance, not intelligence. It rewards memorization over critical thinking, producing workers who obey rather than leaders who innovate. The media thrives on fear, pushing narratives that keep people divided, distracted, and emotionally reactive. Governments and corporations promote lifestyles that make men weaker, dependence on debt, indulgence in mindless entertainment, and reliance on external validation. Even modern masculinity has been distorted, discouraging independence, self-reliance, and the natural instinct to lead. A Sigma male refuses to be manipulated. He does not waste energy arguing over distractions created to keep people fighting among themselves. He does not let fear-based propaganda dictate his actions. He sees through the illusion of social approval and understands that most people's opinions are just recycled narratives they've absorbed without thinking. He is not impressed by authority figures simply because they have titles. He judges them by their actions, their logic, and their ability to withstand scrutiny. By seeing through the lies, a Sigma male gains an unmatched level of freedom. He is not swayed by trends, guilt-tripped into submission, or pressured to fit into society's expectations. He moves on his own terms, making decisions based on truth, not manipulation. While others remain trapped in the cycle of deception, the Sigma operates from a position of clarity, control, and unshakable independence. The world cannot control a man who sees it for what it really is, and that is what makes the Sigma male truly dangerous. Number 8. Build wealth without flashing it. Wealth is a weapon, but only when used wisely. Most men chase money for the wrong reasons. To impress, to show off, to buy temporary validation from people who don't matter. They flash cars, designer clothes, and expensive watches, trying to prove their worth to the world. A Sigma male operates differently. He builds his wealth in silence, stacking resources while keeping his true financial power hidden. He understands that real power isn't in what people see, it's in what they don't. A Sigma does not seek validation through material possessions. He knows that the loudest person in the room is often the weakest. When people know how much you have, they begin to watch, judge, and eventually target you. The more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become. This is why a Sigma never lets the world see the full extent of his success. He may live well, but he never feels the need to prove it. He might own property, businesses, and investments, but you won't see him bragging about it. He lets others assume whatever they want while he quietly builds an empire. Money is a tool, not an identity. A Sigma doesn't just earn, he multiplies. He creates multiple streams of income so that no single failure can break him. He invests in assets that grow over time, securing his future without drawing attention. He understands the importance of financial independence because dependency is just another form of control. The moment you rely on a paycheck, an employer, or a system to sustain you, you've given away your power. By keeping his wealth private, a Sigma maintains control. No one can manipulate him with financial pressure. No one can predict his next move. While others chase status, he builds freedom. While they flash their earnings, he secures his legacy. And when the time comes to make a real move, he has the resources, the discipline, and the strategy to do it without anyone seeing him coming. That is the difference between a man who simply has money and a Sigma who truly owns his life. Number 9, erase all emotional attachments to outcomes. A Sigma male moves with precision, focus, and intent, but never with desperation. He puts in the work, makes calculated decisions, and executes with confidence. But once he's made his move, he does not cling to the outcome. He understands that attachment breeds weakness, and weakness invites control. The more emotionally invested you are in a specific result, the easier it is for outside forces to manipulate you. A Sigma refuses to give that kind of power away. Most people live in a state of constant emotional turmoil because they attach their identity to external outcomes. If they win, they feel valuable. If they lose, they feel like failures. This mindset keeps them trapped, always chasing validation, always fearing loss. A Sigma male operates differently. He puts in his best effort, but once the action is taken, he lets go. If it works, great. If it fails, he adapts. There is no breakdown, no self-doubt, no desperation to control what cannot be controlled. He is unshaken regardless of what happens. This detachment applies to everything: money, relationships, success. A Sigma does not let financial gains or losses dictate his emotions. He understands that wealth is a tool, not an identity. He does not chase people, nor does he beg for love, friendship, or acceptance. If someone values him, they stay. If not, he moves on without hesitation. And when it comes to success, he knows that wins and losses are temporary, but the ability to keep going, to keep improving, is what separates the strong from the weak. By erasing emotional attachment to outcomes, a Sigma gains something most men never achieve: freedom. He is not controlled by fear, disappointment, or the need for validation. He moves with a level of calm and confidence that others can't understand. He remains untouchable because nothing outside of himself has the power to break him. And in a world where most people are prisoners of their emotions, this ability makes him truly unstoppable. Number 10. Never be loyal to systems that wouldn't save you. A Sigma male understands one harsh truth: No system is built with his best interests in mind. Governments, corporations, and institutions exist to serve themselves, not the people within them. They demand loyalty, obedience, and sacrifice, yet the moment you are no longer useful, they will discard you without hesitation. A Sigma sees this clearly, which is why he plays the game but never lets it own him. He works within the system when necessary, but he never trusts it, never depends on it, and never believes it will save him when things go wrong. Most men spend their lives believing in illusions. They dedicate years to jobs that will replace them in a week. They trust governments that manipulate them for power. They pledge loyalty to institutions that would crush them if it meant maintaining control. A Sigma is different. He does not waste time fighting a system he cannot change, nor does he blindly follow its rules. He learns how to navigate it, how to extract value from it, but he remains independent. He builds his own safety net, his own escape routes, and his own sources of power, so that when the system collapses, he is not one of the victims begging for help. Loyalty should be earned, not demanded. A Sigma male reserves his loyalty for people who prove they are worthy of it, not faceless organizations that see him as nothing more than a number. He doesn't fall for the illusion of security that jobs, governments, and corporations sell. He knows that the only real security comes from his own skills, his own resources, and his own ability to adapt. While others put their faith in systems that will betray them, the Sigma walks his own path, untouchable, unshaken, and always prepared for whatever comes next. Number 11. Never reveal your core strategy. A Sigma male moves with purpose, but no one ever sees his full hand. He understands that the moment people can predict him, they can control him. In a world where everyone is looking for an advantage, revealing too much is a weakness. People study patterns, they observe habits, and they try to decode intentions. The Sigma ensures that no one, not friends, not family, not colleagues, ever sees the full blueprint of his life. They may catch glimpses, but never the entire strategy. Most men fail because they talk too much, they announce their goals, they share their next steps, and they let emotions push them into revealing things best kept private. A Sigma male avoids this trap. He listens more than he speaks. He moves in silence, making strategic decisions without broadcasting them. When he takes action, it seems sudden to everyone else, but in reality, every step was planned long before. People assume they know his direction, but by the time they react, he's already 3 steps ahead. This controlled secrecy extends to every area of life. In business, a Sigma does not reveal his financial moves until the results are already in place. In relationships, he never allows anyone, no matter how close, to have full access to his mind. He keeps people guessing, ensuring that they never know exactly what he's thinking. This isn't about paranoia, it's about maintaining control. The less people know, the harder it is for them to interfere, sabotage, or manipulate. While others live predictable lives, easy to read and easy to counter, the Sigma remains a mystery. He allows people to make assumptions, to believe they understand him, while he moves undetected. And when he does strike, when he makes a bold move, it's always a shock, never expected and impossible to stop. That is the power of a man who never reveals his core strategy. If you've made it this far, it's because something in you refuses to follow the script society tries to force on men. You don't fit into the neatly labeled boxes of the world, and that's not a weakness. It's your greatest strength. A Sigma male doesn't need permission to exist on his terms. He doesn't chase validation, play by someone else's rules, or compromise his vision just to fit in. He moves in silence, builds in the shadows, and becomes unstoppable, not because anyone told him he could, but because he decided he would. The world fears men who think for themselves. It wants you distracted, weak, and dependent. It wants you to doubt your instincts, suppress your power, and follow the path that keeps you controlled. But a Sigma sees through the illusion. He knows his value, guards his mind, and stays untouchable in a world that preys on the unaware. He is self-sufficient, mentally sharp, and always 2 steps ahead. When others crumble under pressure, he adapts. When the weak seek comfort, he embraces challenge. When people beg for approval, he moves forward without looking back. Being a Sigma male isn't about titles or trends. It's about mastering yourself so completely that nothing external can shake you. It's about forging a path so strong that no obstacle can break it. And it's about living so purposefully that no one's opinion can sway you. This is your reminder. You are not like the rest, and that is your power. Own it, sharpen it, and never let the world tame you.